Good morning. Welcome to Margaret being Margaret. The weather in the Northeast is so hot and so thick that when I go outside, I can't breathe. I mean, it truly feels like it's a blanket, just, oh my gosh. I opened the door in the middle of the night on one of my trips upstairs and got hit, in the middle of the night. There was just no relief. So I wanted so much to get outside and sit out there and talk, but I don't think I can. It truly is that bad. I did get outside the beginning of the week and did a little weeding around one of the front gardens to start to bring them back. It's going to be a big deal. Actually, you know what? We're going to take a walk. I got to do it. I'm outside for a very short window of time. It is so oppressive out here, I can barely breathe. Can you see me struggling? It's just, the air is too thick to breathe. So I haven't gotten outside much, and I've been so antsy. It's awful. I got outside one day this week for a couple of hours. I'll show you what I started working on. Let's take a walk. Started digging out one of the front beds that's completely overgrown. Try to bring it back. And you have one of these tools that I find does such a good job. This is mine that I was working with. You notice anything? I broke off the metal. How? How do you break off the metal? But I managed. And look at this. This is a stool from the inside that I'm getting rid of. But I found out that this makes a beautiful little kneeling cushion. What I was doing. I look like I'm weeding in style. Oh, there's a breeze out front. I may just stay out here. This is what I started working on. You can tell that at one point this was a bed that was cleaned out. I can see the outline of, I don't know if you can, of where it's all grown in. So I'm pulling that all out. And then we have all the wood chips from when the trees were taken down, which they're still here. I'm going to move those to the front. Now, if it stays like it is right now, right here, maybe I can do that later. We may just sit right here. Isn't that a great backdrop? You know, today is, there's a Pan Am Challenge race. Not even a race, it's bicycles. And there's 6,000 of them coming through town. I wanted to take the little one for a walk in the stroller because they're going to cross the road around a mile from here. Probably as we speak, they're doing it. It's too hot to go for a walk. And this air is killing my breathing. That was off the table. But what I'm finding is I've had a week where I'm really, really antsy. I'm not doing anything this week. You know, they moved in Saturday, and it's just Nikki putting the house together. She's done a phenomenal job and finished up. You know, she's like many of us. The house they're renting out, she spent 2 days cleaning. Everything got done. She did one last lawn mowing, and so she worked her tail off. And yes, she had my college boys for a couple of hours. They helped her move out all the trash. So that's done. She doesn't have to go back there. I feel so good for her that it's off her plate. Other thing is the plumbing inspector came out this week, inspected the plumbing that had been done for their new bathroom. The electrical inspector came out, inspected the electrical for their new bathroom, and the building inspector came out yesterday and passed everything. So now it's just getting the permit to do the addition, which I think within a week. Massachusetts just passed a new law, something about making sure that the new addition is going to be energy efficient. So somebody just has to sign off that, yes, it's going to have good windows. And honest to God, I get it. But we're getting close. I never got the check from the modular home people. And I thought I'd just give it a couple more days because they said it was in the mail. They emailed me yesterday that they had gotten it back from the post office. Now, this is actually understandable. I hate being reasonable. All our correspondence, everything has been at the new address. I still had my old checks when I paid them, so they sent it to the old address. And it's been 6 months, so it got sent back. And they asked me if I wanted to come get it. No, they're up near Boston. I don't need to fight traffic for it. So they're mailing it again. And how silly. This is just a sign of the times. The call came from Deb at Millhouse. I think it's Millhouse Modular Homes, with her number. The email came from Deb saying that they got it back. I called the number. Mary answered. She's one of the owners. I said, can I talk to Deb? She said, Deb isn't here anymore. I said, why did I just get a text and an email from her and the phone number says Deb? They haven't bothered to change it over from an employee who doesn't work there anymore. Okay. I don't get it. Things like that just make me do this. Just exactly what I just did. Oh, people are cuckoo, including me. So the check is in the mail again. We'll see. Big story of the week, the landscaping. I am so grateful that I have been sharing this with you because it's getting stupid. You know, I said the day he came that I paid him up front. I knew it was a mistake. I know better. I don't know why I took leave of my senses and did it, but I did. And he said he'd mow the lawn, which he did very well. And it was high, a good 8 inches high, maybe 10 inches high. But he had that great big machine. It took him 15 minutes. Not saying that's not important, because it is. And then he said he'd spray all the perimeter, spray the poison ivy, and then that one section that I wanted cleaned out. We'll take a walk and I'll show you. He said, he'll spray it all. I said, but I want it all cleaned out, ripped out, because I want to make a picnic area there. Nikki wants a picnic table. I know he heard that, because we talked about it. And yes, I'll spray it all, and I'll come back tomorrow and rip it out. We've had this conversation, you and I. Didn't come back, if you remember, and I started doing the let's chase him down. And, he did 2 or 3 at least. Oh, yeah, I couldn't, it's too hot, we'll come tomorrow. Yeah, I couldn't, it's too this, I couldn't tomorrow. Oh, I left you a message that I couldn't come today, which I never got. And it was on the same phone he was calling me on, so I never understood that. Went on and on. Well, Saturday, yeah, I left that, I said that last week, that he said he'd come on Sunday. He was sorry, and then called back and said, can I come Monday? Yes, but you better. And it wasn't contentious, I'm so over it. He didn't show up Monday. So I called and said, you were supposed to be here today. Oh, I have you down for 2. No, we had this conversation today. Well, I'll be there tomorrow. I said, you better be. You better be, because then I'm done. Then I'll take it further. So he did show up Tuesday. Now I'm in the house. The car is here. The air conditioning's on, so the doors and windows are closed. He did something for a while and left. Well, an hour or 2 later, I took the baby out and went for a walk. No. I told him I wanted to put wood chips down, which means, and he had said to me on the phone that day, the day before, maybe I'll just bring in my whatever piece of machinery and just churn it all up. And I said, that would be great. Just, get it all out of there. Weed whacking's not going to do it. He came back and weed whacked another 3 feet and left. Guess I'm done. So I put up a review, and we'll go back and I'll read it to you. It wasn't mean, it was just factual. Put a thing into the Better Business Bureau complaint and to American Express. I just don't want to pay $1,000 for something that he didn't do. We'll go back in so I can read it to you. It's just, and it's okay. Whatever happens is okay, because Tom is kicking me in the backside for writing a check up front, which we all know I should never have done. Shame on me. Let's take a walk and I'll show you my finished product. All right, here's the stand of trees. These are some cedar trees here. And all this bitterroot and whatever else it is, I want to go. It's all vine. Do we agree it's all vine? You can tell when he sprayed it and it's yellow and dead. He didn't spray all the way in. But this is what he cleaned out. All right, so there's a good 10-foot area there that he weed whacked. But if you can see, he only weed whacked it. None of this stuff, ouch, is out. I can't just put mulch on top of it, which I really plan to do because there's a good bed of pine needles there, so that should be okay. Did none of the rest of this and called it a day. I don't get it. I don't get it. I just sit here and go like, what did I do wrong now? I know I explained it to him because he heard me say I want to put all the wood chips that we have in another pile over here, and I want to put a picnic table down. I want to put a picnic table here. It's not what I signed up for, folks. So we'll talk about the rest when I go in, but look at this. How nice. And I got, here's the big thing. I got this big umbrella. This thing is nice. Look at this. You go up. And I can go as high as I want with it. Can you see it? Isn't that nice? And that can shade everything for the little one. I can do it like this, so that it's at an angle. Or I can go all the way down with it and close it up. There we go. I really like it. Amazon, I'll put up a link. It was not inexpensive, but it didn't come with the base. Now, in their defense, I had read like an extra base is optional, but it does have legs. They don't work unless you're going to screw it into a deck. So I had to then wait another week for the base, fill it with water. But that was nice. We had the little one out here yesterday playing with the water and in the sprinkler, and well worth it. I'm glad I did that. We're going to go back in out of the heat, and I'll tell you the rest of my story. My cough is acting up, and I really think it's the weather because it's awful. And I know I was at Karen's last night, and she was talking about the trouble. She's having actual trouble breathing. So I got some medicine, and because of my over-the-counter benefits, I got 3 things of Delsum, which is what works best to calm the unproductive, just for the heck of it cough. $62, and it was covered. Oh, that feels so good. So let me take my medicine. All right, hopefully that's better. You know, I haven't taken any cough medicine for months, at least 3 or 4 months, and that's why I really think it's the weather. I took just the recommended dose yesterday. Holy mackerel, my belly. We didn't leave the bathroom for a good long time, and I didn't want to be downwind of anybody either. So hopefully today's a better day. I know, TMI, I know that. That's what we're here for, right? To share all the bad stuff. Okay, so Tuesday I said the landscaper came and went, and I just thought, it's just not okay. It's a lot of money in my book. I mean, a whole lot of money. So I wrote a review. I got to pull it up. My goal is not to destroy this man. My goal is to make sure nobody else gets scammed. That's all. My review is fair, I think, but I'll read it to you. You can tell me. Paid quite a bit. Maybe I can't read it to you. Paid quite a bit of money. Parentheses, senior on a fixed income, and job was never completed. Didn't return the following day after being paid. In parentheses, rookie mistake on my part. Shame on me. Was supposed to pull out all growth around pine trees so I could make a picnic area. Chased with phone calls for 2 weeks, multiple appointments were no-shows. Returned after I complained and did 1/4 of the job by weed whacking, not removing what had been agreed on. Would definitely not use again. All right, fair review. I think it's a fair review. And I just want to warn other people. I got a text message within an hour. Margaret, it's Steve from Sunday Landscaping. It's Steve Sunday, Cumberland, Rhode Island, Sunday Landscaping. He is a party of one. He may have some kids helping him out, but, you know, no office. He is his own business. There's no office that I'm aware of, and I'm 99.9999% sure. And he answers the phone himself. It's his cell phone. It's fine. He's a small business. Good for him. Margaret, Steve from Sunday Landscaping. I went over there, trimmed the grass, cut everything back like we had talked about, sprayed the perimeter, and ripped the vines off the trees. You left a review on Yelp, which is fine. That you're entitled to do that. But it's kind of defamation when it's opposite of what work was done. So therefore, I'll be contacting my brother-in-law, who is an attorney, if it's not taken down in 24 hours, and he will handle it just like he did the last one. Work was completed that we talked about. If there's something that you have a problem with, call me and we can discuss it. Thank you. Well, first of all, I started laughing the minute he brought up lawyers. That was a scare tactic. I don't get scared. Really, see, they don't understand the older people. Most of us go like, what? And whenever he said, that the lawyer would handle it just like he did the last one, I thought, okay, so this has happened before. That wasn't smart. Well, I feel very good because I've been documenting this with all of you. Not that I hope it will go further. My hope is the Better Business Bureau will reach out to him and take care of it. But he said, call him. I called. I hate confrontation. Hate it, but I will do it. And when I do it, unless you push me right to the edge, I'm going to be calm, nice, and just factual. So I called him, and he said, what's going on? I said, Steve, we gave it 2 weeks. You still haven't done it. What do you mean I haven't done it? I said, we talked about that I wanted all that removed. I made that clear because I talked about that I wanted to put mulch down and put a picnic table. I know we had that conversation. I would never have taken the job if I knew it was that much. I don't know what to tell you because that's what we talked about. I charge $1,000 just to spray for poison ivy. And I said, well, if I had known that, I wouldn't have hired you. So both of us made a mistake. And he said, and I mowed your lawn 3 times. I said, no, you didn't. You mowed it once. Very well. It was over 2 feet tall. No, it wasn't. It was long. And you went over it once and you did it very well. I did it 3 times. I was here. No, you didn't. However, we're not arguing about the lawn, and I'm not going to argue anyway. Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to come back and do a little more? I said, therein lies the problem. And this is almost verbatim. I don't want you to do a little more of what you've already done because you haven't done what we contracted to do. You were supposed to rip all that out. Well, I used the weed whacker. Not the same as ripping it out. I can't put down wood chips. You didn't mention I had to put down wood chips. I said, no, I didn't because that's not what I said, and I didn't say that just now. So anyway, I don't want you coming back and doing a little bit more because it's a little bit more of doing what you wrong, what I contracted you to do in the first place. Well, what do you want from me? I said, well, I have to be very upfront. I have done the Better Business Bureau, and I have put in a dispute with American Express. Well, my brother-in-law is a lawyer. And I said, Steve, you cannot intimidate or scare me. It's just not going to happen. What I would like is to not pay for what you didn't do. I think $300 or $400 back is more than fair for the money, for the part that you didn't do. But at this point, let's leave it sit. Let the Better Business Bureau contact you, and you can decide what you want to do about it. And he got very angry. I don't want and hung up the phone. I'm fine with that. Well, he put a rebuttal on Google. It's a long one. I don't know if I'll read it out to you. From the owner. It's disheartening to leave customers unsatisfactory. It's, look it up. It's on Google, Sunday landscaping. Maybe you can read it better than I can. It's disheartening to leave any customer unsatisfied, especially when we are a homegrown family business built from the ground up. We are committed to and always willing to make things right. Now remember, as far as I can tell, this is just him, but I'm impressed here. He did a really good job with this to make himself sound like a fairly good-sized business. We're incredibly sorry for the misunderstanding considering your product, but it is not at all what occurred or what was agreed upon. At the outset, you were aware there would be 2 different appointments to remove the vines. Your return service was scheduled 2 weeks later. Luckily, I talked to you about it so that we all know that's not true. He had said next day, and I chased him for the 2 weeks. However, due to inclement weather, we called and left a message to reschedule for the day after. Unfortunately, upon returning our call, you made threatening remarks to our professionals over the phone. First of all, they have no professionals, they have him. But what a nice story, huh? When we arrived to pull the dead vines, you were home. Now, you see, here he said pull the dead vines, which is not what he did anyway. You were home but refused to speak to us when we rang your doorbell before and after the project completion. I was home. I was watching with the baby from the window because she was enjoying watching them with the weed whacker, him with the weed whacker. The final walkthrough, where we would review the end results with the customer, was never conducted due to your refusal to meet with us. He skedaddled. Probably rightly so. Unfortunately, you have chosen to write a negative review rather than communicate with us when we attempted to initiate contact with you multiple times to resolve any issues you may have. Please don't hesitate to return our calls at your convenience. We would love to hear from you again. I'm impressed, and I mean that. I said that to my sister Karen. I went, I'm really impressed. He did a good job of answering that complaint. The fact that he lied from start to finish, nobody's ever going to know. And if it goes no further and the Better Business Bureau washes their hands of it and American Express says, sucks to be you, hopefully lesson learned on this old lady that I have to not trust people. Isn't that an awful lesson for me to come away with? It really, really makes me sad. And that's the extent of it. It makes me sad because this is a guy that I thought was trying to make an honest living, has his own little business, lives in Cumberland, Rhode Island, just a little ways away from us. And I'm all about giving the locals the work. Lesson learned, I hope. So that's been my week. I've got threatened with a lawsuit. And he said it on the phone again, too, when he talked to me. My brother-in-law's a lawyer. And I went, good for him. You're not going to scare me. And I dislike that. I dislike it when people do the threats. I said, if we don't figure this out, I'm going to go to the Better Business Bureau. That's not an idle threat. That's, you took $1,000 of my money. I'd like $1,000 worth of work. And that didn't happen. That's just a fair exchange. That's sad. It is what it is. I will get out there in the fall, possibly, and start trying to cut it back. It's going to be hard. So I don't know how to cut some of that stuff below ground level. And I've been doing a lot of research on, what kind of plastic or whatever to put down, and none of it sounds like a good alternative. There's a lot of pine needles there. Once I've gotten that cleaned out and got the wood chips, the pine needles falling, should do a pretty good job of not letting things grow through. And then I'll just have to keep up with it, which I don't mind. And for those of you thinking, why am I doing it? Because I'm going stir crazy. I need projects. Nikki said yesterday when I headed outside again, it's hot. And I said, Nick, I have got to find something to do. So she's letting me do this stuff. They've got so much on their plates that it shouldn't matter. But, I don't want you thinking, as some of you always do, that I'm being taken advantage of. They would prefer I don't do this stuff. I will lose my ever-loving mind. Today is a day down here. I don't know what I'm going to do. See, I'm already starting this. I can't get into reading a book. I can't get into doing too much. I do some YouTube, but I feel like a slug. Nikki does have a nice exercise machine down here, and I've gotten on it 2 or 3 times, and let me show it to you. It's a Bowflex trainer. I really like it. I said to her, she had told me I could use it. Yesterday I said it's working because it wasn't measuring calories or distance, and it started working again. So I went up and said, it's working. She goes, oh, good. How far did you go? I went, 2 minutes. So I'm not going to kill myself. I haven't been doing anything. And I don't know about any of you, when I exert myself, my breathing goes right into panic mode. I also know if I do it for 5 or 10 minutes, I'll settle in and can breathe. I haven't gotten to that point yet. Oh, here comes Parker. So I'm just doing, 2, 3, 5 maybe minutes, slow. And I'll work myself up to not being panicky, get a little bit in every day. Because something's got to give. I now officially weigh more than I have at any time in my life except for being pregnant. We're not doing anything. At the other house, I was taking Squish for a walk in the stroller a mile or two every day. She doesn't like that anymore. She's mobile, so we're walking, and at her pace, well, that's not going to do much for me, and that's okay. The trade-off is finding a way to do something for myself. We had that pool party last weekend. That was lots of fun to see the sisters. The only thing is, and there's not that many people, but still you don't get to visit with each one. And I wanted to be in the pool with the little one. And then, I don't know if it was the following day or Tuesday, they all just blend together at this point. Nikki and I took her back to the pool. So we were at the pool 2 days this week. A couple of hours is plenty. Outside of that, spent that one day working outside. Last night, around 5 o'clock, I called Karen. She had called to check in. After I was done playing with the little one, I called Karen back and we were talking for a minute. I said, "What are you doing? Are you in for the night?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Good. I got to blow this joint. I just need to not be in Nikki's face." And poor Nikki keeps telling me it's okay, that she likes it. And it just doesn't feel right there. It just doesn't feel right. And that was not my boobs. That was my heart. Just for those of you who don't know, wherever it may be at this point, everything's sunk so low I can't be sure. So went over to Karen's and we talked for about 4 hours. We laughed. You know what it's like when there's two older women trying to have a conversation and neither one of them can complete a thought because they don't remember what they were going to say. So you start one conversation, it stops because you can't remember. Start another conversation, and then all of a sudden it comes back to you, so you go, it's like a ping pong match. We laughed all night. And that was so much fun. Monday, I'm going to Newport, Rhode Island with Holly, who is extended family, an in-law family. I've known her all of my life. Holly is on here, and she really enjoys this, but I don't see Holly much, and she had told Karen that she watches it. So I saw her at the pool party on Sunday. Holly, it was so much fun, and I'm looking forward to us going out on Monday. In Newport, they have an elephant display made out of wood. It's a big, big thing. I'm going to film what I can. I don't know what they let you, but we're going to go there Monday. I said, you got to get me out of Nikki's hair. So we're going to do that. I'm really looking forward to. The other friend thing, I'm not quite sure how to do this. I think I'm just going to go for it, folks. So read between the lines, okay? I had high school friends that we hung around with all through high school. Some of us from grade school on. After high school, college, we all had babies within 6-7 months of each other. And so then we all got together once a month, potluck, get out of the house and talked about kids. Every once in a while we had kids play dates. That probably went on a good 8 to 10 years until the kids get into sports and there was never time, and slowly it died off. I considered them good friends. Things change. We know, we grow apart. We got together a couple times when the kids were older. It's not the same. I will do what Chelsea always says, my friend Chelsea. When I talk about things, she'll say, what's the common denominator in this problem? And it's usually, mwah. So I'm going to take full responsibility for it. I changed a lot. I owned a business. My priorities changed. I worried about money. I worried about day-to-day. I worried about all sorts of things. Several of them are very, very wealthy. Talk changed. I'm a very weird person, in case you haven't figured it out by now. My mind only works on substantial things. I can't do inconsequential stuff very well. I can make believe I do, but I get bored or I get insecure, and very big on me, I get jealous. Very, very jealous and angry that their lives had money in them. Now, I don't know what their lives are like, but I grew very, very much apart from them. Then last year, if you remember, we all went out to dinner and I tried to have a conversation. I should have let it be surface because I said, oh, how have we all changed since high school? Thinking we'd have an intelligent conversation. And two of them said, well, you haven't changed. You were a bitch then and you still are. Ha, ha, ha. For me, that was the last straw. They were being funny. Nothing funny about that. You can feel the stabbing. They got together a couple of times, pictures on Facebook, and I was excluded. Again, I'm sure that's on me because I changed so much. That's absolutely fine. Did it hurt my feelings? Of course. Would I have gone? I don't know. Very possibly not. But you like to be included. And then for me, the final straw, I think there was one little straw left, is one of our acquaintances passed away, and there was a memorial service for her. And at the memorial service, 3 or 4 of them were standing, and I was standing with them saying hi. In front of me, they started talking about when their next get-together would be. And I wasn't included. And I just excused myself and walked away and thought, all right, this cannot be all me. It just can't be all me. So I closed the door on that. All that is to tell you, got a message the other day from one of them saying they'd like to get together. They'd like to get the old gang together. They're going to do it at one of the friends' lake houses, August 20th, and they really would like me to be included. And what would I like to bring? Is it me? And you can say it is. You can say it is because, as Chelsea says, what's the common denominator here? I sat there and thought about it and thought, I'm not doing it to myself. It would be detrimental to the little bit of brain power that I have left. So I wrote, I think that's awesome. I'm glad you're making new memories. Tell everybody hello, and I'm sending regrets. Word for word. I thought that was okay, right? Because I got back, oh no, we really hope you'll change your mind, even if you just decide to show up. No. So I do want your take on that. In my heart, I think I did okay. I wasn't belligerent. I didn't say bad words. It's ridiculous. At 70, I'm still feeling the angst of high school. It's not okay. It's just not. I have to grow up. Or at least develop a thicker skin. I'm sorry I'm not going to see them. I really am. But I'm not sorry enough to put myself through it. Does that make sense? I hope you're all having a wonderful summer. I don't know what weather's been like for all of you, if you've had a summer of your youth. But, I remember the days being hot when I was young, but you could go outside. Here, right now, it's just too hot. If anything's going on, I'll reach out during the week. Have a wonderful week. Leave all your comments. If you haven't checked your subscriptions, please make sure you're subscribed. Please like and share. I would appreciate that. And you all have a phenomenal week. I'm done.